Hello. So the prompt was to create a close to full body figure with 1/3 of it being muscle, 1/3 of it being bone or skeletal, and 1/3 of it being skin or flesh. I originally wanted mine to focus more on sort of the breasts and stomach, because I have just had and still kind of have issues with those specific parts of myself, and I don't feel like I appreciate those as much personally. Also, I wanted mine to have a sort of halo fuzz kind of background, but this was done for like a college sort of assignment for one of my classes. It was figure drawing, I think it was, and some of the things had to be adjusted. I showed like a sketch to like the professor, and he said like basically more full body and a different background. But the alternative minor version will be at the end that emphasizes the breasts and stomach, and as well as the sort of background I was originally thinking of doing. So yeah, that will be at the end. So it was the first assignment, and according to the directions that were online, we were allowed to use graphite, which is pencil, and even charcoal if we wanted to. I used graphite for just the figure and the details of the muscles and the bones and all of that, and I used the sort of charcoal for the background and those aspects to emphasize those. I wanted those to be emphasized differently, and that was the only way I could think of doing it at the time. I personally do not like charcoal. Like, it's not because of its messiness, even though yes, that is annoying, but I don't like it more so because I can never get to see the transitions from dark to light or light to dark really correct or even white. I just feel like I can't do that. Maybe that's because I just don't work the page hard enough. Like, I don't blend to like my fingers are sore or like any of that, but it's what it is. I am not going to full on trauma dump, but I want to leave sort of cliff notes and stuff about the whole, I guess, body issues sort of thing. I don't know if because my issues with sort of, I guess, my boobs were like because I was sort of on the internet at like such a young age. Younger than I honestly probably should have been, but I heard all about technology at school and jumped on the bandwagon without giving like a second thought. This was like elementary school before middle school, for context. And by the way, no one in my generation probably told the truth about their age, let's be honest. But anyways, simply, I guess, being on the internet, simply existing, like being a breathing human being apparently, I guess it made grown men think that it was okay and that they had the right, which that's stupid and fucking disgusting, let's be honest, to ask inappropriate questions and send inappropriate photos and videos, which, if your mind went there, you are correct. I fucking saw that shit at like a fucking young age, so yes, I think I'm allowed to be a little pissed the fuck off. Let's be honest, but I'm not gonna go on that full on tangent. I'm not even gonna think about the questions they asked me because I don't even want to go there. Like, it's fucked up. But anyways, it's been close to a decade later, and I still honestly want to bleach my eyes out. But I'm just gonna, that's that, I'm not gonna do it, but that's the vibe. And so now on to sort of like the stomach, because I want to talk about that too, and I feel like it's sort of important to talk about. I understand that like a lot of the time pointing out when someone has lost weight is supposed to be perceived and seen as a compliment, but I'm kind of more on the part, or like the population or side, I guess, I don't know how to phrase that like doesn't really feel happy hearing that. And a lot of that has to do with, for context, I have had depression, and I've had it for like years, since like the 8th grade, I think, was when it like peaked. Which I don't want to talk about that until I see a therapist, let's be honest. But anyways, that did not necessarily give me like an eating disorder or anything like that, I feel like. But sometimes my depression, I guess, did try to make me eat more and like make me think that I wasn't eating enough, which is just wrong, because I was eating the three main meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and as well as snacks and like dessert. So like, and I was more on the thin side, so like I was eating what a normal teenager would eat. So I don't understand how that made me think I wasn't eating enough, but I've sort of recovered from that, so I'm not gonna necessarily focus on that as much. But yeah, that's basically all I'm going to say about that. And I will see a therapist when I can. And I do have healthy coping mechanisms, and people to reach out to if I want to talk or just chill to get my mind off it, because that seems to help me apparently. So yeah. Also, do any of you notice anything that is out of place with the digital version? I didn't notice it at first either, but it's there. Which is funny, at least to me, because I have literally made that mistake twice. I have forgotten to put a certain part with another college level piece too, and no one noticed either, or at least like said it out loud. I'm not going to say what that is. I'm just gonna let you all figure it out for yourselves, and just, yeah. Also, with the physical one, I spent close to 4 hours on it, so that's why the time-lapsed footage may seem a little weird and sped up more. Because the footage originally, even though it's time-lapsed, it is originally in its time-lapse form about like 36 minutes in total, and I had to speed that up. So yeah. Too funny. I hope you all enjoyed sort of watching this and hearing this. If you didn't understand any of this, I will post pretty much basically what I said in the description. So yeah.